Canelo Alvarez is back. This Saturday, he'll be taking on WBC mandatory challenger Avni Yildirim. And make sure y'all tune in. We're going to talk about that plus more. But before we do, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Y'all make sure y'all smash that subscribe button so you can subscribe to the channel and you won't miss a video. So let's go. So look, Canelo Alvarez is back. Like I said, this Saturday versus WBC mandatory challenger Avni Yildirim. Now, when it comes to this fight, there has been a lot of criticism, a lot of people talking. And it's not just this fight. We've heard it with the Caleb Smith fight. We've even heard it with the Sergey Kovalev fight. And I mean, some people can go farther than that, but I'm not. But we've heard this criticism when it comes to Canelo's choice of opponents. And he recently had something to say about that. He had something to say to those critics out there. And I'm just going to paraphrase, but he pretty much said that he doesn't have to explain why he's fighting Yildirim, and that he fought the #1 guy at 168 and people still weren't happy. So he's saying they're not going to be happy either way, and he just fought the #1 guy and they're still not happy. So he doesn't have to explain anything, he says, and he says he doesn't care. But I wouldn't say that. Even though Caleb Smith was a decent fighter, he was a good fighter. You know, some people had him at #1, but the boy didn't look like he wanted to be in there at all, did he? He didn't look like he wanted to be in there at all. But yeah, man, he's getting a lot of criticism when it comes to his choice of opponent, Avni Yildirim. And I just want to know. Let me know down in the comments right now. Do y'all think it's fair criticism or unfair criticism? Y'all let me know down in the comments. And we're going to get to what I think. But I'm going to give y'all a couple seconds to go ahead and tell me what y'all think. Fair or unfair? I'm going to give y'all a couple seconds. All right, we back. So when it comes to do I think it's fair or unfair, I'm going to say unfair. Oh, wait. Hold up. Before you say anything, let me explain. The reason why I say unfair is because, I mean, he to a point, he is right about the Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith, some people had him #1 at 168. Now, do we really believe that he's better than a David Benavidez or even a billyjoesaunders or calebplant? No, but you never know. But for the most part, through the eye test, most people would say no. But he was a champion, and this is a weight that Canelo has not been at. So you can't really knock Canelo for fighting a champion at a new weight class. So I don't really understand that part. I mean, Smith was a champion, so he beat a champion. Just because he didn't look like he wanted to be in the ring with Canelo doesn't mean that you should just brush that win off. But also, one thing that really makes me say not fair is because we know that we could possibly get the Billy Joe Saunders fight for Canelo. We know Billy Joe Saunders is a great fighter. So knowing that, it kinda makes me just not even think about this. I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm gonna watch it. But at the same time, it kind of makes me forget that Canelo is fighting this guy. And plus, you never really see these guys fight great fighter, great fighter, great fighter, great fighter, great fighter. You don't. And what we're hearing is Canelo is fighting. So Canelo went champion, mandatory challenger, Billy Joe Saunders, and September maybe Plant, maybe Caleb Plant. That's what we're hearing. So those are the two fights why I kind of brush that to the side, and it doesn't really bother me as much as some people. Some people have really been bashing him. They call him cherry picker, or they say they're gonna boycott his fights. I'm talking about like going to the fight or watching the fight. I don't know. He's a mandatory challenger. He has to fight him. Is he the greatest? No, but he's a mandatory challenger, and you honestly never know. You never know what happens in these fights. Avni Yildirim might go in there and shock the world. You never know. But I say, like, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, I say PHG. And you're probably wondering what PHG means. It means people hate great. Because in sports, and there's a lot, not even in sports, not even just in sports, in life general. You could be this holy man, woman that doesn't cuss, that just takes care of their family, that works so hard, and just this perfect person. And people are still going to find a reason to hate you. And you're the greatest person. And people are still going to hate you. Even in sports. LeBron James. People hate LeBron James. Maybe they hate him for flopping. Maybe they hate him for building super teams. Maybe they hate him because he's not better than Jordan. Or they say he's not better than Jordan. It's your own opinion. And Canelo Alvarez is in the same boat. He's so great. People want to hate. But yeah, that's the reason why I say not fair. Just because I picture those two fights in my head. So I'm okay with Canelo Alvarez fighting Yildirim if I know that he's fighting a Billy Joe Saunders, and possibly a Caleb Plant to unify. So, man, he also had other things to say, which it excites me because he even brung up the Charlo brothers, and a lot of people have bashed Canelo when it came to the Charlo brothers because he never really brought up their names. A lot of people say that he moved up weights because of the Charlo brothers. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I'm just saying. People have been talking bad about him because he hasn't been bringing them up. But he finally spoke about him. He finally spoke about him, baby. And this is what he has to say. He says, I'm going to read this one. But he says, they started off asking him about Jermall Charlo. And he said, hopefully, yes. Why not? He says, a fight has to happen with one of those two. A fight has to happen with one of those two. So, not only did he talk about one Charlo, he talked about two Charlos. But I think they got onto that because Jermall Charlo was saying that Canelo was ducking him or he was avoiding him. And Canelo said all fighters always say the same thing when it comes to, people saying, oh, this guy's ducking me or avoiding me. He said, I beat one and the other one comes up. That's how it is. It's normal. He said, it's part of the game. So he says that fight must happen. He says that fight must happen. One of the two. That is what really excites me, because we know it's not gonna be Jermall Charlo, which I think both are great fighters, but we all anticipated one day being Jermall Charlo, who is the bigger twin and who is at 160. So we all anticipated it'd be Jermall Charlo someday, but I don't want to get too far into that. That was what was said, and the future looks bright for Canelo, because he got Avni Yildirim, Billyjoesaunders, maybe a calebplant, like I said, to unify, and then maybe Jermall Charlo steps up and moves up in weights and challenges I was about to say Carmelo Anthony, Canelo Alvarez one day. But yeah, man, it's just good seeing that Canelo is, calling these guys out, and we all know that Canelo's not afraid. I don't think Canelo's afraid of any fighter. Canelo's one of the best fighters out there. Canelo has the best defense out there. That head movement. Whenever he fought Daniel Jacobs, that was by far, hands down, the best Canelo I've ever seen fight. I think that fight right there was amazing to me, man. It was amazing. Not the whole, not just, it wasn't like a war or anything, but like that. But Canelo was amazing to me. Canelo shocked me, and I don't think we've ever seen a fighter grow that much from a loss. Because when he lost to Floyd Mayweather, he was already a beast. But when he lost to Floyd Mayweather, man, he just shot up, man. I don't think we've ever seen that. I don't think we've seen that ever. This man he's definitely in his prime, and he's definitely, man, he's gonna be hard to beat. Whether that's Billy Joe Saunders or calebplant, David Benavidez, Jermall Charlo, any of those guys, it's gonna be hard to beat Canelo Alvarez, and it just is. Another thing I want to get into, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Canelo Golovkin 3. I don't understand why people want to see the third fight, because I had personally Canelo winning both fights. And when I think of trilogies, I think of, some kind of drama in there, or beef, or the fights were just action-packed, where they were like, their two fights were close. But to me, it doesn't have the excitement as, let's say, a Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder, they have their first fight, which went to a draw. We seen Fury get up looking like the Undertaker. Nobody thought he was getting up from that, and he did, and it turned out to be a draw. Then we seen the second fight. Fury wins by knockout, but here comes the drama with Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland getting fired and getting accused of spiking his water, or the costume was too heavy, or Tyson Fury's gloves had no padding and he was scratching his ear and hit, just all kind of crazy stuff. So when it comes to trilogies, I don't think the Golovkin Canelo trilogy is exciting enough to have a third fight. Like, I feel like 2 is enough. I really do. But I just want to get that out there, man. So, like I said, before I go, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Y'all make sure y'all smash that subscribe button so you can subscribe to the channel. And man, yeah, please subscribe to the channel, man. I'm really trying to work hard doing this. I love doing this stuff, man. And I just want to do it for you guys forever. And I'm out. Peace.